So many questions about choosing the right implant. So there's loads and loads of things to discuss, and it's not just the implant choice itself. It's what shape are we going to go? Are we going to go above or below the muscle? What is the surface texture of the implants? Are they going to be smooth surfaced? Are they going to be rough surfaced? And what kind of density gel are we going to use? They're going to be firm so that they don't flop or ripple, or are they going to be squidgy, which has more of a tendency to flop and ripple? Everyone says firm. So there's all sorts of ins and outs, but if you're talking about the size of the implants now, that is, you've got choice, but you don't have unlimited choice. So I like to examine you and take some measurements, and the implant has got to be constrained within your anatomy. So the most important thing for me is how wide is your breast footprint. If you imagine your breast is sitting on your chest and it has a footprint where it wants to live. Now it may be hanging off that footprint in some cases, but it does have a footprint, and you can work out, I will work out for you where that footprint is. And if you want to do some homework, the way to do that is get a marker pen, Sharpies are good, and if you grab your breast and you move it up, then you can see, you might be able to see me, come on, that's embarrassing, but you might be able to see a junction between where skin moves and where it doesn't move. So that's an upper border of chest. And then on the inside, you can do the same. You can see a junction, and then outside, and you can go all the way around and make your footprint. And then your footprint has dimensions and a shape. And those dimensions and shape are really helpful. The really helpful thing is width, because I do not want the width of your breast implant to exceed the width of your breast. It can be a bit smaller. I don't want it at all or much bigger, but it can be a bit smaller, but not too much smaller either. So we kind of want those to match pretty well. Now, if you have a round breast implant, then the width is the same as the height. So that's it, height is gone. If you don't have one, if you go for a teardrop implant, they're not always width the same as height. The width can be different. They can be tall or they can be short breast implants. And there we kind of try to match the footprint of your breast. We don't need to with height quite so much. We can have a taller one than your breast footprint if you like that, and if you want more upper fullness, but you don't want crazy upper fullness, because a breast starting under your collarbone never looks good. However much you think you want upper breast fullness, breast up there is not a look. It's not a good one anyway. It is a look. Maybe it's not one that I get asked for too often. So that's width, that's height, and then projection. So how much it sticks out. So if you want a breast that sticks out very little, then that will be a fairly low volume. If you want a breast implant that sticks out a lot, then that'll be quite a high volume. Or you may wish to express it the other way around. You may say, I want a 400cc, whatever volume it is, 300, 250, whatever. And that will then determine the projection, the opposite way around. So we work all of those things out together. But what's really helpful is those simulations, because we can talk cup sizes, we can talk projections, we can talk centimeters, but there's nothing quite like seeing your body on a screen with implants simulated, and we can just do a head-to-head comparison of here's how they'd look if they were round, here's how they'd look if they were teardrop, here's how they'd look if they were highly projecting or less highly projecting or whatever. So that's what we do. So for me, 3-step process. You come in, you talk to me, I talk to you, I ask you questions, work out a rough rule of thumb where we think implant size is going to end up, and I examine you and I work out what your range is, what you can have, and then do some simulations, and that's normally enough to get you home with, and that's your homework, to look at the simulations and decide which ones you like. Then you come back, you try on some external sizes, you can slip a top over them, you can feel how heavy they are, you get a really good sense actually what it would be like in your case, and then that can usually help you pinpoint, okay, I thought I liked these two, but actually that's what I'm going for. Then I go back to the simulator, and instead of made up implants, we actually run it through a database which actually has all the implants available with their actual sizes and dimensions, and we can say, okay, you wanted a 275cc, but actually in your size there is one that exists that is 280. We don't have to custom make one. This one already exists, and it's pretty much exactly what you were after. So we then re-simulate that, you tell me you like it, we order it, and you're good to go. So that's how that's done. There you go.